Hello and welcome to Nick V Uncensored. Today we've got Ian Clark and we're going to be talking about who really owns your body. Is it the government that owns your body, or do you own the body, or does Big Pharma own the body? So Ian, thank you so much for joining me. How are you and what have you been up to?
Well, Nicholas, I've been happy to be back and share some things today. I've been through quite a bit in the last month. Sometimes you have, challenge times, and it's been a challenging time. And, just had different things that happen or build up over the years, and then you have to deal with them. And so it's that kind of thing. But otherwise, very good. And just constantly learning. The more problems that you work through, the more wisdom you get. And yeah, it's been very interesting times.
It is a very interesting time, yeah. Absolutely. So, what's your message today with who owns your body? Do we really own our bodies?
Well, I can only speak from personal experience and then what I've observed with everyone around me in the world. And you think about it. So the day I was born, they tell me it was June 7th, 1958, right? And that's according to the current calendar. So that at that time, my mom signed me over to the government and applied for the birth certificate. And we received the bank note that shows the registration number of me and somehow transferred into that system. And we just accept that. Oh, okay, so I guess I need a birth certificate, I need a passport, I need all these things. And and then right away, the first thing you remember kind of is going to the doctor or going to the dentist or something like that, and then going to school. So everything is all about the body when you think about it, because when you see you, when you see me, we see our bodies, but we are the real being inside the body. So the question is, how much of your body ownership has been transferred over to a system, to an institute, to a governing control of some kind? Because there's all kinds of different types of governments, right?
Yeah.
Governments within governments.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's the question.
when my friend during COVID, when my friend went to hospital for something else, they forced him to get vaccinated and he didn't want to get vaccinated. So in some ways, we don't really own our bodies when they say, shit hits the fan. I don't know if you guys say that. We say that in the UK.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It
So
makes a mess.
exactly. So when shit hits the fan, um, they force us to do things we don't want to do. And you go to the doctors when there's a problem with your body, and they're not educated in curing or healing or going to the root cause most of the time. They don't. I've spoken to doctors, and one of my cousin is a doctor, and she agrees that they do not teach you anything about nutrition, okay, or about curing. They are learning medicine. It's medical school, how element reacts to this, and how this disease needs to be treated with this medicine, and how and what side effects there are, and what medicines you can't mix with other medicines and stuff like that. But never do they know anything true about nutrition, about vitamins, about curing or healing or root cause. So they don't even have the choice of advising their patients in how to get the body better because they don't have that knowledge, right? So,
Right.
so the education that they've been taught is controlling them, which drips down to us. where they are controlling our bodies indirectly. They are stirring knowledge to a certain direction that benefits big pharma, that benefits them monetarily, and it keeps us on these drugs forever, almost forever. And the minute I think we own our bodies is when we're aware of what I've just said, and we take responsibility into learning how to really heal the body. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's really the greatest battle in the physical world is getting your sovereignty back and taking your ownership back because you were sold out into slavery when you were born, when you got your birth certificate. And slavery simply means you don't have any say in what's about to happen. And this thing is going to happen, and you're going to learn that we control and that we own, and that you're going to do what we say. And the agenda is set up from day one to misinform the parents about their child, about how that works. They've been misinformed by their parents, and this is generational downloads. So it's your individual responsibility to methodically take back control of your body, because your body's actually yours, not anyone else's. And when you hand your body, say, the doctor gives you a diagnosis of cancer. That's, people get those diagnoses a million a day. So when people hear that, they go, "Oh, what do I do? Oh my God!" And then they just hand their body. They literally hand their body over to surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, more surgery, more chemotherapy, more radiation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They hand their body over, and so we see that every day now. A doctor can only tell the patient to do that. They're by license not allowed to say anything else. And we don't claim we have cure for cancer. I don't have any interest in cancer personally because it's called a disease, but it's really just multifaceted cellular malfunction and probably gazillions of little microbes and whatever you want to call them, and fungus and whatever. But that's not what we're here to solve. What we're here to do, first of all, is you got to realize that your body is the most important and most valuable asset that you've ever been given. And your teeth are the jewelry, right? So where do people get attacked first? In their mouth, where you speak. Oh, you need to go to the dentist. Well, why wasn't everyone trained on how to take care of their dental from day one? As soon as they could learn something. Okay, sweetheart, you're going to now need to take care of that jewelry coming in your mouth that is made of ivory. And you got to learn how to take care of every one of those teeth so that nothing bad ever happens to those teeth, because every tooth is equally important. And, you own those teeth. Don't let anybody else own those teeth. And when it comes to injury, we're very thankful for the medical industry who is able to put us back together again and sew us up and help to knit the bones. Hopefully they do it right. In those situations, they're amazing, and I'm all for them. But like you mentioned, they're not taught on nutrition. They're not taught on root cause because it's an agenda. It's not their fault. It's not the fault of the doctor. It's the fault of the system that we have all created. And so to look at them and go, they did this and they did that. We are they just as much as they are they, when you think about it. So we have to methodically take everything back into our sovereign control. Otherwise, you're giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about control of the body, control of the mind. Whoever controls your mind controls your body. So are you controlling your mind, or is somebody else controlling your mind? You have to answer those questions.
No, of course. And when you answer that question about do we, use our minds to become sovereign, we can get into another topic where do I want to give my biometrics and my fingerprints and my, my toroidal field energy or whatever,
Right.
because this is what they want. This is what digital ID is. They want to take our, they want to know our DNA through the ancestry. They want our fingerprints. They want our biometrics. And we're giving consent to them, and we don't realize how important our body is. That's personal, private information that companies want to own. So yes, so absolutely, the mind. We need to be aware and use this so that we are healthy, we are safe, we are free, we are sovereign. You know.
Right. And we're here to share with each other. It's not like, oh, I'm the big guru on the mountain and I've got all the wisdom and now I'm going to tell you all the things you need to know and look up to me. This is that is the thing that messes everybody up. It's a level playing field. When anybody dies physically, they're instantly equalized. But think about that. You could have a trillionaire or a pauper. They're both exactly equalized the moment they pass.
Absolutely.
Because that's just the way it is, because you don't take anything from here over there. While you're here, your body is your asset. There's no other asset in your world because your body signed a document that says that your body owns that property. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one asset you have is you living inside your body, taking care of it. And you mentioned earlier that your friend was forced to have a vaccination. So he shows up at the hospital, and this is the scenario. Oh, you need surgery. Well, we can't do surgery unless you do this, this, and this. All of a sudden, there's new rules. Well, but I'll die if I don't get the surgery. Did you not listen to what we said? In order for us to do the surgery, you have to do this, this, and this. So you can either be dismissed right now from the hospital, and we're going to discharge you immediately.
And you'll die.
Or, right? And, oh, no, but that's not forced at all. No. You agreed. You consented by giving in. But again, no, it's forced. So there's all kinds of interesting things. Now, why force it? What's the purpose? Why would our bodies need anything outside of the natural realm?
Mm-hmm.
We're not synthetic robots.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Solaris and magnesium and the iodine, because these are the three go-to that you swear by. You've done a lot of research. You were told that you were going to die about, I think, 20 years ago. You were told you were going to die and that you needed an operation or something like that. And I remember you saying that your brother, who has also passed away, and who was also a medical health profession, disagreed with you going alternative and looking and doing the research and finding the root cause in how to treat the root cause, and you did. And obviously this is living proof now that you're here doing this interview with me. Otherwise you wouldn't be if you didn't listen to yourself, you didn't do your research. And it's amazing. So you've done a lot of work and knowledge on this. And why is it that Solaris and iodine and magnesium, why is it that you really swear by those?
Well, I never came up with them. I was shown all those things, and I was shown the mechanisms. I was shown the research, and then that's just information. So then the information transferred into, okay, we need to get this out there. Let's see what it does actually. And so the E's, for example, that started. We're in our 20th year. So 20th year doing this. It was actually 22 years ago when I first found out how sick I was. Now, what I realized is you got to reset your foundation, because I was in a situation where definitely my body was going to be taken control of. And I watched both my uncles when I was 20 years old, 19 to 20. They got diagnosed with terminal cancer. They both died within a year. They both died basically in the time frame they were told they would die. They did all the surgeries and everything they were told to do. They gave their control to the doctor, and one died at 51 and one died at 54, 2 days apart. So I knew that in 2004, didn't matter what the doctors were telling me, I was not going to take that treatment that they gave my uncles. And, here we are 26 years later, 1978 being the dark ages, in 2004 being the new frontier. I thought there have to be people out there who have knowledge and information that I don't have. And I don't know the first thing about this. So I'm asking to be led. So I was gradually led to people. And the thing is, Nicholas, the cool thing about the activation total modality is that it's interconnected with people directly. So we get an immediate feedback loop on everything we provide to people for their health. And in the physical body, you can't fake it. Mm-hmm. So the things that didn't deliver major results at a foundational level, we did not bring in the door. And those three things that you mentioned, and especially the iodine as far as the intellect, because people get poisoned because they don't do it right. And then they get turned off the whole thing. And the doctor will tell them, you have this, this, and this, you can't do that, that, and that. But those things are not true. So we let the body come back to equilibrium. All of us have been compromised. I was compromised so heavily that I was going to be dead between 46 and 49. That's pretty messed up. That was a lack of knowledge. So now that we have gained not only the knowledge about the research, but also the physical on the ground results that are driven, like over $100 million in revenue to support people with their health. It wasn't about generating money. The money just keeps going back in to serve more people. It's about how many people are we serving or getting to know how to take their sovereignty back in the physical world. Because you do not want to have a breakdown. You got to have perfect dental. And that's a battle I've had, which I'm very passionate about, because I had all my teeth destroyed in my head between 1972 and 1974 by what I call a demolition dentist, who just methodically went through and drilled all my teeth. All the teeth, all the nice teeth were all drilled out, in fact, with, mercury fillings.
Did you take the mercury fillings out?
Pardon me?
Did you take the mercury fillings out?
Oh, they all gradually went away. I knew nothing about the harm of them. I haven't had any mercury fillings in my mouth since I was 38 years old. But the point is that, along the way, it just, you get compromised. And so the industry, everyone is trained to be practitioner, to get control of your body, to do something that allows them to control that part of your body. So the moment that a dentist drills a tooth, they control that tooth from then on. Because you can't re-drill your teeth and put crowns and caps and blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. No. So you got to get control of the precious ivories with Solaris #1 and iodine, right? The combination. The ease also goes in there for enamel. You got to get your ivory sorted out. Now, the rest of the body is contingent upon those things. So just go back and think about your life, about have you ever been attacked? Some people have never had their teeth drilled who I met. I go, how did that even happen? That's amazing. You're super protected if that happened. Right.
Interesting. Yeah. So would you like to tell the viewers what we can do for them in regards to the Solaris and iodine and magnesium that I'll be leaving the link below to?
Well, the main thing is just simply employ them. They're your employees. You have to hire certain things that will go into your body and work for you and support you, because you are responsible for the health of your body. That means you are responsible for the healing of your body. And if you have anything wrong at all in the systemic part of your whole being, you have to address each one of those. So that's why we didn't go all crazy and fancy with all these formulas that, oh, this is going to change that. No, we go back to the foundation. So you're continuously working on the strong foundation, and the structure automatically rebuilds itself. You just have to tap in. There's a whole community around this of sharing, and yeah, that's what and there's the discounts that show up if you use the links. We try to get everything as affordable for people as possible, especially with the cost of living going up all around us. It's pretty intense what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ian, thank you so much for sharing everything with us today. Like I said, the link will be below in the description for the viewers to have access to. And Ian, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish?
Oh, just encourage yourself and encourage everyone around you, and build self-esteem as much as you possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Ian, and we'll speak again very soon. You take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.